We're going to review a couple quizzes to help you for your test. So this is going to serve as your Chapter 2 test review. So this number 1, they say to use a number line to find the distance from A to C. So here's point A at -8 and here's point C at +6. You can count that distance if you want, or you could also subtract. You could do 6 minus -8 and take the absolute value to get 14. Number 2 and 3 are the same types of problems, so we'll do one of these. They're asking you to find which point is in between the other two if the 3 points in the problem are collinear. So these aren't points, these are segment lengths. But the 3 points are point A, point S, and point M. So one of these is in between the other two. It has nothing to do with alphabetical order. It has to do with the lengths of these segments. Remember the key. Which segment is the longest? That one is. Now, if that's the longest segment, then these are the endpoints of that longest segment. So the point that's in between those two endpoints would be the one that's left. You would do number 3 the same way. Number 4, refer to this line below. They're going to give you 2 segment lengths. Find the other segment length. There's 3 segments here. So R to S, let's say that's 37.1. Q to S, that's the whole entire thing. It's 83. So if that's your big segment and that's a little segment, how do you find this other little segment? You're going to subtract. So we're going to do 83 minus 37.1. And that's going to leave you with 45.9. Measure. So the ruler is here. We're going to find the length of this segment in centimeters. That's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, so on and so forth. Here's 7 centimeters and here's 8. There's only one little unit in between, so we're assuming that that would be 7.5 centimeters. We're going to use this number line to determine which statement is true. So one of these 3 would be true. Segment PQ is congruent to segment ST. Segment PQ has a length of 3, if you would count. Segment ST has a length of 3 as well. That looks like a good answer. Now, instead of just picking the first choice that you see because it seems good, what you should probably do is check the others. Segment QR, that goes from -5 to +4. That has a length of 9. Is it congruent to segment ST? Segment ST has a length of 3. Definitely not. Part C, segment QS has a length of, well, we're going from -5 to +5, so that would be 10. Compare that with segment RS that has a length of 1. Yeah, you don't even really need to find the lengths there. You know those aren't congruent. So A would be your answer. Number 7. True or false, explain your reasoning. Distance from S to M is 10. Distance from M to T is 10. Therefore, segment SM and segment MT are congruent. That's true. 2 segments that have the same length are congruent. We're going to skip down to number 10. Use a number line to determine which statement is true. Point Q is the midpoint of segment PR. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Directly in between -6 and -2 is -4. That looks good to me. Again, don't just go with the first choice that looks good. Check the others. Is point R the midpoint of segment ST? Well, it's not even in between them, so definitely not. Part C, S is the midpoint of segment RT. S is definitely in between R and T, but isn't S closer to R than it is to T? So that can't be the answer either, so it was A. Number 11, use a number line. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of segment JK. Now they ask for the coordinate, right? So the coordinate is a number. J lives at -2, K lives at +3. Average to find the coordinate of your midpoint. -2 plus 3 equals 1. And when you divide by 2, you get 1/2. So I don't see 1/2 anywhere here. That's the decimal equivalent of it. Just be careful. 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2. Now I'm going to keep going here and just kind of shuffling through some things. You're also going to need to look at a coordinate plane and see some ordered pairs and know their coordinates. So state the coordinates of each point. Well, remember, first quadrant, positive, positive. Second quadrant would be negative, positive. Third would be negative, negative. Fourth would be positive, negative. So you're going left or right first, then up or down second. Point H, for example, we're going 2 to the right and then up 5. So we're going to call this point H +2, +5. And that makes sense because it's in quadrant 1, positive, positive. I'll just randomly grab one from over here. Let's look at point G. We're going left 7 and then up 8. Left 7, up 8. That's where G lives. Quadrant 2 is negative, then positive. Let's find one down here. Let's look at point J. We're going left 7 and then down 5. Left 7, down 5. We'll do one more. Where is point? I guess that's an I. Let's just call that an I. We're going to go to the right first, 8 units. That's why it's positive. And then we're going to go down 2 units. So make sure that's negative. Positive, negative for the fourth quadrant here. Let's see how this one goes. I'll zoom out on this guy a little bit, and I don't think I've rotated ever. Okay, so we'll try that. I'm still not going to be able to write on this. Okay, so you've seen this problem before. It's got the star on it. If x is the midpoint, then what do you know about this length and this length? They're going to be equal. So I'm writing this totally sideways. 3a minus 7 equals a plus 23. I know that doesn't look real good. But then you solve that equation. So if I subtract a from both sides, I'm going to get 2a minus 7 equals 23. I'm going to add 7 to both sides, so 2a equals 30. Divide by 2, so a equals 15. That's part of what they ask for. They ask you to find a. It's 15. Now, how do you find this length? This is not 15. This is 3 times 15, which is 45. Take away 7. 45 take away 7. Gives you 38. That's how far it is from W to X. Now, we're going to do the same thing over here. A is 15, so 15 plus 23 is, shouldn't be a surprise, it's got to be 38. It's 38, and you're not surprised because the other one was 38. Okay, now 38 and 38 give you the total from W to Y. That's 76. Okay, so we've gone over problems like that before. Now let's see if I can fix this. Okay, last concept that you're going to need for the test. Find the midpoint of a segment with the following endpoints. So if these are your endpoints and these endpoints are in a coordinate plane, where would the midpoint M live. You're going to average your endpoints. 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Four plus 6 is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So your midpoint lives at the order pair 3, 5.